This is Purge casting the last game of the defense for today. This is like my 4th or 5th game. I think it's been 4 games, but it's been a long morning. I woke up at 8 o'clock and it's now 2:03. I've been sitting in front of my computer for 6 hours now, streaming for you guys. I hope you appreciate it. I'm sure you do. This game is going to be SGC versus Infused. Infused, I didn't recognize their team name, but I recognize a lot of their players' names. Fishbone, very, very good player. I've seen Wagamama, and I'm not sure about the other 3. But Fishbone definitely before. I've seen him do some really good stuff. So, Radiant team also some good up-and-coming players. They are SGC. So Radiant team is SGC. They don't have a very good Go-Subat rating. They're definitely below 1,000, so they will lose more than they win. But not a hacks. I've seen do some really interesting picking. Sun One as well, and Kranich, very good players, as well as Bones Edge, and Dream Shock is unknown to me. But the other those four players on SGC definitely are very recognizable for me. So it should be a sweet game here. SGC versus Infused. And we've seen a lot of sweet games already today, actually. A ton of really, really great games. Anti-Mage and a Broodmother are going to get banned right off the bat. Are you surprised? Not me. I'm not surprised at all. Other than the Anti-Mage, probably going to see a Night Stalker and a either Lich. Surprisingly, going to see a Chen ban out of here. Fearing the Chen more than other heroes, so it's going to change things up a little bit. Sometimes we do see Chen work his way into the first round bans. He doesn't get played that much, but I think depending on the team lineup, I think this is a smart decision. If you're scared of the enemy team's Chen, go for it. So we do see Nature's Prophet ban. This means Lich and Night Stalker are actually in the pool, so I expect either of those heroes to get picked up. And actually, we're going to see a Windrunner first pick out of SGC, and I'm expecting a Lich Night Stalker pick out of Infused here. There's the Night Stalker. It's going to be Tidehunter instead of Lich, but either way, still going to work out quite nicely. So I'm sure Infused is happy with that. I personally don't value Windrunner above Night Stalker, and I don't know. It's hard to say. I would pick up Windrunner on the second round pick, but I would not first pick her. So most players just end up soloing Windrunner on the long lane anyways. I mean, sometimes you can make cool stuff happen, especially now. You could do like a Lich Windrunner lane, something like that, and just dominate whoever you're laning against. But most often we just see players solo a Windrunner on the difficult lane and do okay with her, but not amazing. And this is hard to do, I guess, in the sense that most heroes would perform badly. They would perform worse than a Windrunner would, so in that sense, I guess it's cool that Windrunner can allow you to not do as bad, but I still think it's kind of a weird situation where it isn't necessarily ideal. But I'm not completely sure. So they actually have 2 picks coming here, but they're down into bonus time. 1 minute left for them. So they definitely need to hurry up and pick a dude, that's for sure. Lich is still in the pool once again. Broodmother is gone. Mainly the ones we're looking at is Lich. Still hasn't picked yet. Very surprised out of SGC here. They are not quite sure. They're going to pick up a Lich and a Slardar. So Lich, the first one that I was expecting. But mainly the Slardar are going to be used for countering Night Stalker a little bit. Dropping an amp damage on Night Stalker. He's very fast. He has pretty high armor. You might even get some armor nerfs in the future. Who knows? I think that might be smart. But Lich and Slardar, definitely good hero pickups. Slardar not used that much, but you know he can do definitely really, really nice things. I think his character model needs a lot of work. His body is not very well done. You can tell, and the band around his mouth. I'm sure they'll polish him up at some point eventually. I just think he looks pretty mediocre at the moment. Compared to Tidehunter, you know, or even Shadow Shaman looks pretty good. His body's a little inadequate, but Shadow Shaman can be used by the Dire team to basically do a semi-push strategy, or at least have the option for pushing. He gets played up more or less every other game, it seems like. He does get played a lot, but it's definitely worth it. The wards can be very good for pushing, and he is pretty good as a solo hero. We're going to see a Venomancer ban out of SGC. That's going to prevent them from doing any more pushing on top of that, as with a support hero at least. The Venomancer wards are very good for giving vision up hills, things like that. Ancient Apparition ban coming out of the Radiant team. It's another support hero that the Dire would be looking for, and the Dire is going to ban a Pugna. because the Radiant is going to be looking for a solo hero. Sometimes we do see Lich solos, but really not very often. It's a lot more common in the past. Usually you do things like Lich solos on the hard lanes, things like that, and farm up a pretty fast mech with phase boots, but that doesn't really seem to be very popular right now. People are playing Liches much more as a hard support, which I think works out okay because once Lich gets to 6, you know, he's got most of his viability anyways. It's mostly about the Chain Frost and the Sacrifice. So as long as you get him to 6, he's pretty happy, or at least can contribute enough, as much as any other support. Priest of the Moon will get banned here. I'm a little surprised about that. I do know, I don't know. I don't know if some of those players specifically just love Priest of the Moon or what, but we're going to see an Enigma pickup by them, which I like. It's going to give them pushing and team fight. We did see Enigma played very, very well in the last game. And one more coming out on Infused here. Looking for sports. Crystal Maiden is a possibility. Vengeful Spirit. Venomancer is gone. Ancient Apparition is gone. Earthshaker is a possibility. But it's probably going to have to be a ranged because they already have a Tidehunter, so they're going to need a ranged support. Probably Crystal Maiden or Avenge. Either one of those two would actually work out pretty good. Especially Avenge because she does also have minus armor in addition to Tide, so they could pick off some heroes pretty good. Pretty well. But Crystal Maiden would work out really well as well. The Radiance Aura, or the Brilliance Aura, giving the mana regen to Night Stalker, to Shadow Shaman, to Tidehunter. It makes a big impact in the early game, in the mid game. But I think Venge would be the better decision at this point, especially because of Enigma, just swapping him out of the Black Hole. Get it over with.
Who calls the Crystal Maiden?
But it will be a Crystal Maiden, so those were my two guesses, but they go for the Crystal Maiden instead. Crystal Maiden's going to be a little better for shutting down Windrunner, I think. Ice Path or Ice Block is pretty good against Windrunner, just disable for 3 seconds. As long as, even if you're not stunning her, it's not a huge impact. It doesn't really matter that much because you are making her not move when she uses Windrun, which is the important part.
Seconds remaining.
Got about 10 seconds left before we run into their bonus time. They have one more pick to go. Probably going to be a support hero, or a solo, or a carry. Alright, my picking fails. I'm really surprised about the Weaver pick. I don't like this at all. Night Stalker is well regarded as a very good counter to Weaver, so I think a Weaver pickup is not smart. I think they could have been better off going for a different hard carry. Go for maybe a Void, go for maybe a Spectre. I just don't like the Weaver pickup. I really don't like that. Fear from Night Stalker is going to be going on Weaver every single team fight. They're going to be able to gank him pretty much early. He is going to be supported by a Lich probably. No, it's going to be the Lich Slardar. It's going to be a solo Weaver somewhere, maybe a Weaver mid. I'm not really sure.
Reserve time.
But I just don't like their lanes. I don't like the Weaver. I think the Weaver is dangerous, and they're gonna go for a Dragon Knight for their semi carry. I think this is really good. I like Infused picks much better than SGCs. I think this Weaver was the kink in their strategy. But on the bright side, they do have a Slardar to counter the Dragon Knight and the Night Stalker. Dragon Knight has a crap load of armor, so being able to use the amp damage is going to help out a lot. So let's go over the players quick. Alright, for the Radiant team, SGC, Dreamshock is going to be playing the Enigma. I believe he's a stand-in here. Wow, fast flying courier. Not a Hack's going to be playing the Windrunner. Krenich going to be playing the Slardar. Sun 1 on the Weaver. Bon's Edge going to be playing the Lich. And for the Dire team, this is Infused. Dawn 1 is going to be playing the Night Stalker. Mini is on the Crystal Maiden. Wagamama is on the Dragon Knight. Russian is on the Shadow Shaman. And Fishbone playing the Tidehunter. They're actually doing a level 1 smoke gank. I made a comment about in the last game about how we really don't see a lot of smoke ganks coming out of players. But this game we're actually going to see them. Level 1 smoke gank is what I meant. Usually teams will just not bother. But this game, it is going to be the case, and everybody on the Radiant team actually just standing in their base, not even leaving yet. Looks like they're a little undecided about items. Not really sure where Weaver's going to go, picking up +3 stats. Maybe he'll play as more of a semi-carry, and then we'll just have a semi-carry Weaver plus a semi-carry Slardar playing the game. But they're just sitting in their base here. Sun 1 now slowly moving out, and Slardar as well. And this is kind of one nice thing that they just happened to do here. They were just kind of slow about leaving the base, and as a result, they weren't in between these two towers, basically, as They were not in between those two towers when the actual smoke gank came through. So they do end up spending the smoke gank. They actually didn't do any dewarding of whole spawns. But this makes me think that they're going to try to be really aggressive here. And it looks like it's actually going to be a Shadow Shaman played as a support with a Tide Hunter. Really weird. Night Stalker's going to be on the mid lane. Dragon Knight's going to the top. I guess it's going to be a 2-1-2 lane. I guess he picked up Shackles level 1 in case they had a gank. That's probably why, but even still, I would wait to skill the ability. Whatever. Alright, and it will be a Slardar supported by a Lich on the bot lane, and mid lane are jungling Enigma, and then it is Weaver indeed in the mid lane. He's going to be against the Night Stalker, which will be pretty good for him, and then Windrunner on the top lane with that double damage. Less than 4-3. Alright, looking to do some dewarding there, and once again, nice Observer Ward placed. This is placed to prevent the Sentry Ward from being easy. Sentry Ward trying to deward the spot right here, trying to deward any spot right here, and once again, they're going to have to spend a second Sentry Ward to try to catch the Observer Ward on the other side. So really, I really like this place. Very, very good spot. It's good to learn this stuff, guys. If you're playing a scrim, place an Observer Ward there, and most teams are going to... You know, alright, if it's like out metagaming the metagame. They place the Sentry Ward here just in case there's a ward here, as well as here. But, you know, if a regular player would probably place the Sentry Ward like right here or something like that. Somewhere to prevent it from despawning, something like that. It's hard to say, but... Alright, Slardar on the bot lane against Shadow Shaman. Shadow Shaman just about to hit level 2 as well as the Tide Hunter. Tide Hunter is in position to gush if he really needs to do so. It's a little bit of a dangerous lane, but neither one is really going to contribute a whole lot until... And let's just deny these creeps, which is great as well, so... A little bit of nuke on the Shadow Shaman. And are we going to see a gush? We may actually see... Are we going to see the Shackle? Nice Shackle just in time, right before he gets the stun off. There's the stun on the Tide Hunter. He's not actually going to speed past, but wow, 45 HP. Will Tide go down? He ends up popping the salve, and wow, Lich almost going to get the kill. Not going to happen, but it might be a kill. 2 stuns coming on the Shadow Shaman. That's it for Shadow Shaman. First blood happens. Nice orb walking by the Lich. Just a little too aggressive. I think they definitely should have backed off from the Slardar. I think that was a big mistake. Even Tide Hunter had to spend a salve that he didn't necessarily want to. Definitely a sloppy play there by Infused. They weren't going to kill the Tide or the Slardar. I mean, that was cool that he shackled before he did the stun. And they did some decent damage, but he had a stout shield and absolutely survived the damage from those two guys. So I think that was the biggest mistake they made. They were trying way too hard there to score a kill. And Tide Hunter is going to buy a salve, it looks like. Brought himself a salve with the Courier, and that's going to heal him back up so that he still has the Tango Clarity Potion. On the top lane, Windrunner, of course, last hitting against a Dragon Knight supported by Crystal Maiden. This is a very, very good support lane. Crystal Maiden is still just level 1 here. He's going to put down a couple hits on the Windrunner, but Dragon Knight he's at level 4 already, which is very, very high. He's been last hitting quite well. Picks up a Gloves of Haste really fast. I'm assuming he might actually go Hand of Midas this game. Maybe he's just going to go really hard carry mode. I don't necessarily think that's necessary, but I think it's going to work out okay. Weaver CSing pretty well, level 4 currently. Actually picking up a second level of Geminate, sorry. Going to give him a slight advantage over this Night Stalker. Night Stalker's going to use his Void to last hit a little bit to supplement his mana, or his CS. And Lich right here picking up a second level Sacrifice to decrease the cooldown by 30% and double the health conversion to mana, so he's going to be able to nuke a little bit more likely and more often against heroes like Shadow Shaman. So good trades right there. Pretty casual game so far. Enigma is actually going to spot out possibly Tide Hunter here. He's going to check the rune. It's actually be top. So Night Stalker is going to luck out pretty hard there, picking up an invisibility rune. 50% chance of him not getting that. And that's something really good that you can do as a jungling hero like this. Enigma is actually going to spot out the Tide Hunter. They will be aware of each other. But it doesn't really matter because the Slardar is still last hitting. So far the laning going really good for the Radiant team. Weaver's probably winning this lane against Night Stalker. Enigma's free farming in the jungle. Interesting, Enigma picking up a bottle this game. Very, very unusual. Almost all Enigmas just stack the crap out of their Clarity Potions. Even if he bottles this up here, that's only 70 mana. That's not enough to get a stun off. Another nuke going down on Shadow Shaman, but just a level 2. Doing 200 damage. A little bit of slow and disable going on Nada Hex. He's actually going to turn and hit Infused Mini pretty hard here. No boots yet on him. Looks like Dragonite may be going for that, Hand of Midas. There's the Urn on the Night Stalker. Urn and a bottle, being really aggressive. He needs to get a kill though. He's got a minute until nighttime, then he will be ganking. Possibly on the bot lane. And let's look at the gold graph. I'm assuming Radiant's in the lead, and yes indeed. 4 heroes laning, 1500 gold advantage. If you look at the CS totals, it's going to reflect that. Dragonite's doing well, I'm sure. 19 CS, Night Stalker's at 22, 12 on Shadow Shaman. But the Radiant team, 25, 27, 14, and 25. That's so much gold advantage. They did get First Blood, but that's not impacting it nearly as much. That's only 400 gold of this 1500. They still have a 1k gold advantage from farming more than Infused. So if they just keep this up, they're going to be more likely to win team fights. 4 seconds here. Enigma wants to grab a rune if it comes up, but it's actually going to be top. A little unlucky for the Night Stalker. He's got 2 hunters in the night. Will he be able to catch one of these guys? Weaver picks up the haste rune. And not going to leave that for the Enigma, but I don't think that's completely unrealistic. Night Stalker does get scouted out. He is getting pretty good mana regen here, but he wants to get a kill. He needs to get a kill. He needs to pick up an Urn. It's going to help fill up his HP a lot better. Level 4 and Lich. Tidehunter's only level 2. These two guys are getting screwed on the bot lane for EXP. Not just one hero, but 2. And Tidehunter really can't leave this lane, because he can get killed by this dual lane. Shadow Shaman is so underleveled, he's basically being played as a support right now. He has no farm. And there's just not really much that Infused can do about it. So despite this fact, SGC's lanes are just so good compared to Infused lanes that it doesn't matter that they picked up a Weaver. It doesn't really matter that they have a Night Stalker. You know, Night Stalker will be fearing the Weaver in mid-game team fights, but if they get a big gold advantage in the early game like they are doing right now, it doesn't matter if they have hero counters. Not nearly as much. The gold farmed is going to make the biggest difference, basically. There are some boots on the Night Stalker, but it's 7 minutes. He hasn't gotten a rune in a while. Will he swing to the bot lane and try to gank? Even if he tries to gank bot, it's still 2 extremely underleveled heroes versus a Slardar and a Lich who are just about to hit 6. Getting very close. 1 or 2 more waves. He is actually going to try to gank this. He's going to save his bottle charge, but they might be able to nuke down the Lich. That's going to be the guy that they want to go on. Nice, Lich is completely out of position. And the Shackle as well. Absolutely worst possible situation for Lich. And now they're going to keep going. He's going to keep going. He wants to take out the Slardar. Slardar has a stun in 3 seconds. There comes the allied TP. Is it Windrunner? No, it's actually Enigma. Enigma looking for a disable. Is he going to get it? No, he's not going to. Really unfortunate there for the Lich. They were looking so strong. Night Stalker needed to get a gank off, and he did end up picking one up. So really lucky there. Lich completely out of position just when Lich wanted to be aggressive. And here's a slow. Is there going to be a fear? No, fear's a little late. Just a second too late there. And that is it. I think Enigma will end time. He does have a bottle. There's the bottle, but there. The nuke goes, picks him off easily. Good pickup by the Night Stalker. 2 kills done on the bot lane. Lich first one to get caught out of position. I think Enigma might have gotten found eventually, but that's going to put Infused in a decent position here. But Dragonite destroying a tower on the top lane. Using his ulti, I'm sure. Yes, indeed. He did use his ulti. 900 gold on him. Does he have a Hand of Midas on the way or something? Good. Okay. He was at the same gold that he had like 4 minutes ago, so I was a little confused. Night Stalker picking up an illusion. He's going to cast Nighttime and trying to pick up the Weaver. But he will not find... Oh, gave a little vision. And a little bit more damage being done on the Night Stalker. He's going to heal up once again. Someone has to be careful. His mana isn't that high, but they get a Shadow Shaman kill on the bot lane. Looks like Solar's going for a Vanguard. He does have that Ring of Health shield and Power Treads. Increases his damage a lot, and Sun One might be in a little bit of trouble here. If he gets a nuke, he does go invisible. Very, very close, though. He's going to be able to pop up that salve. Almost goes down to the urn. Very close. One more hit might have done it.
I'm in your debt.
Ooh, a little bit of a misplay by the Lich. I think he put a salve on Weaver after the salve was already going. He's going to try to get the kill. Will he get it? Oh, 53. Slight misread once again by Bone's Edge. Getting out of position there. Eating that Chain Frost. Chain Frost wasted. Doesn't get the kill. Still no Swarm on Weaver. Sitting on 2 Geminites. Very low mana, but his item build is decent enough for the early game. Crystal Maiden wants to kill in the bot lane with Tidehunter. They're going to be swinging around. I don't think they're going to be able to kill it solo. They need somebody else. It's going to be the Shadow Shaman coming in. There's the Shackle once again right before the stun, but the stun's going to be hard. Nice. Hex as well. Are they going to be able to get him? It's not going to be enough. They just aren't leveled up enough. Huge Shackle shot. Going to catch 2 heroes to each other. Enigma swinging through. Is he going to get the stun off? Nope. Shadow Shaman will be fine. No boots on the Enigma, so he's not going to be able to help out.
Illusion.
Sun 1 in trouble. Once again, needs 4 mana. There's the invisibility. Pops the wand. It's going to keep it survivable. Nice chase by the Night Stalker. This could be it. Night Stalker's going to get this, I think. Shackle shot. Almost catching him. Power shot? No power shot. He doesn't have the mana. 15 mana to go. 5 mana. He might still get this. So fast. Close, but not going to happen. It was a good attempt. He needed to take the shot once he was in here, but he didn't know which way that Night Stalker went. Would have been a blind shot. Shadow Shaman, not even close to his Arcane Boots. Doesn't have a bottle. Just really basic support items. Crystal Maiden sitting on a wand. Tidehunter very underfarmed. They have a Sentry Ward. They're going to check this position. It's going to allow them to gank a little bit better, but do we have a Chain Frost? Still no Chain Frost on Lich. He's going to find a Crystal Maiden. Oh, he will back up though. Enigma level 6 with his ulti, 3 Malefice, not 4. It's the important designation. He gets an extra stun by having the 4th level of Malefice. And Weaver with Treads, Basilius, Wand, Wraithband will be able to help out. Night Stalker's coming in though. They're looking for a hero. They're going to find Lich. There's the Fear. There's the Slow. Is the Ice Block? Yes, that will go through. And Lich gets picked off. Good attempt to try to TP out there, but at least they wasted a little bit of Crystal Maiden nukes. And Weaver is going to escape. He knows it's a little dangerous down there with the Night Stalker. Is the chase going on? Enigma will take a little bit of hits, but he will bottle that back up. Not a Hex coming to help out. Basilius with that Phase Boots. And Slaughter actually switching to the top lane now. 6 magic sticks. This Dragon Knight's been free farming here. A little bit of ulti coming out of the Night Stalker to make it nighttime just a little bit longer, an extra 25 seconds. And Dragon Knight's looking really strong, man. He's had this Hand of Midas for a long time. He's going to use that 190 extra gold every time he uses that 100-second cooldown. Weaver coming through doing some damage. The wards drop, but not going to get the disable off. Windrunner actually gets dropped by Night Stalker despite the amp damage doing a lot of damage to that Night Stalker. Unfortunately, wards were not dropped within tower range, so that would be an easy tower if it was for that. And Infused is actually looking pretty good here, despite their gold disadvantage. I'm sure the Dragon Knight's making a big impact on that. The fact that he gets that Hand of Midas 100-second cooldown, man. He's getting 19 gold per second. Increased just from that Hand of Midas, which isn't a whole lot if we look at the gold per second tab, but look at that. He's at 370 right now. He's only getting about 19 from the Hand of Midas, but it does make an impact. I think it did just drop down quite a bit. Dropped by about 20 gold. Just after me calling that out. It'll jump back up again once again when he gets that Hand of Midas. And what is he going to go for next? Is he going to go for a Hood or an AC? It's kind of hard to say. Big Shackle going on. Enigma going to do a lot. He's actually out of mana a little bit, unless that's an illusion here. Are we going to see it? Are those both illusions? No, okay, there he is. Here's the Black Hole. There's the Black Hole going on the Dragon Knight. He's taking good damage. Power Shot cleans him up. So picks off the Dragon Knight. Didn't have any kind of Hood. That would have made a difference. Windrunner picking off that Dragon Knight there. A little bit of roam on the mid lane. Is he going to do damage to? No. He was scared of a smoke there, understandably. I'm actually getting the Observer Bug. Wow. We'll see if this lasts. I don't remember. Am I in a... That's right, I'm not in a broadcaster spot. I forgot.
Regeneration.
Alright, Arcane Boots on Shadow Shaman. There's the smoke. Hopefully they did not spot that.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Tidehunter, Crystal Maiden, very inadequate items, but this Night Stalker, it is daytime. That's the weird part. They're going to be ganking with a daytime smoke. Fear's only going to last for 3 seconds. But Weaver is kind of low HP if they get the Fear off on the nukes. There's the Vision. There's the nuke. Oh, he did not get the Fear first. You gotta go Fear first, man. And he's gonna time lapse out of that. To reset his HP up. He doesn't have a lot of regen right now, so that's absolutely worth it. And we have a disconnect from Cinder, and he's one of the observers, so that doesn't really matter. Wagamama continuing to farm. He's actually going for an armlet. Very cool. I haven't seen an armlet Dragon Knight in a serious game in a long time. Almost always we see Dragon Knights just go for like tanky, like we did previously today with the hood. Fast pipe into AC. But he's going to go for damage. He wants to be the team's carry. Go for it, man. He's going to have an AC with a medallion. I'm sorry, not a medallion. Hand of Midas. And the Night Stalker does get picked off by the Shackle Shot, the Power Shot, and the Malefice. Disable. Malefice is really good against heroes like Dragon Knight. Or against heroes like Night Stalker, just stopping them moving casually over and over again. And the mid tower will go down. We're going to see a glyph, but Fishbone not going to be able to do anything about this. And TP the bot lane by a lot of heroes. Oh, nice. Slardar in position. Big stun from Dragon Knight. That's going to stop the chain initiation. If Slardar would have gotten the stun off, no, they will be able to get the Crystal Maiden at least. And he does get picked off really fast. Wow. Amp damage making a big impact on that. And it looks like Windrunner's going for a really fast mechanism here. Alright, Shadow Shaman on the top lane pushing. He's going for our fast drums with that Arcane Boots. I don't think he's going to ward this. Might wait till the next creep wave. The entire Radiant team now pushing on the bot lane. This means it might be smart for him to do that. Just try to take the tier 2 tower. Trade off here. Double damage on the Night Stalker. But it is daytime. He doesn't have his ulti. He did use that last time he died. And there's the wards. But there's the TP support coming. It's going to be Slardar. That's going to be an easy kill on this Shadow Shaman possibility. He steps outside of ward range and not a whole lot he can do. He's actually going to try to TP out. Will he get the bash? Wow, good play by the Shadow Shaman there. Good decision making. He's a little unsure at first. And no bashes from the Slardar. 10 seconds, or 10% chance. So he's unhappy about that, but it's only a level 1 bash. It's understandable. 2 Wraith Bands now on Weaver, going very semi-carry this game. It's going to give him more attack damage, but he won't get a Radiance as fast. It does give him the benefit of a little bit more HP, squeezing out those HP, 60 per Wraith Band. And how's Enigma doing? Just an Arcane Bottle Arcane Bottle Basilius, a lot of regen here, a little surprising. Lich as well. Are we going to see a Shackle? It's going to catch onto that Dragon Knight. Are we going to see a Black Hole or something? There's the Malefice. Nice dodge by the nice ulti dodge by that Enigma. Tide goes down though. Stun on the Weaver. He will chase this. This could be a Dragon Knight dropping. We see a Malefice. Here comes. There's the Malefice. Enigma might go down to the Crystal Maiden though. He will indeed. No heal for him. Crystal Maiden might follow. Disable from Night Stalker. Still not nighttime. Slardar's going to go stun on that though. Doing good damage. Power Shot going to drop Mini's HP quite a bit. And a good escape by these guys. Run away. Force Staff is completed. It's going to be really good. It's basically made for Night Stalker. If he does Fear and Silencer, Slow and Silencer, she can run away. This tower is definitely dead though. Dragon Knight will continue getting closer and closer to that armlet. He has a Hand of Midas off cooldown as well.
Double damage.
There goes 190 gold. He's going to be using his ulti on this tower. Picking up levels of Dragon Tail as well. And here goes 20 damage per second on this. Do we have a Night Stalker ulti? He does have his ulti. He can't use it. There's the slow and the fear. Big misplay by Nadahax. Absolutely missed TP. They're going to lose this tower no matter what now. That was not worth it. Should have ran. Should have TP'd to the back tower. Huge mistake from him. Night Stalker going to try to get a kill on the top lane. Will he be able to find the Lich? He's got the double damage. He has the fear. There's the slow. He's going to TP immediately. Nice play by the Lich. Is it going to be enough damage? Ooh, that was close. Good play by Lich though. He knew that he was not going to be able to survive that. TP's out. All the mini stuns were gone. We were now farming on the bot lane. Dragon Knight in the jungle briefly. Does have his armlet finished. Plus he has that Hand of Midas. The going damage build with a Hand of Midas is always good. It's actually a lot of attack speed. He's purchased 3 Gloves of Haste so far this game. Treads, Armlet, and the Hand of Midas. It's a very under-purchased item. It's like 1 per game, tops. Alright, there's the Drums of Endurance on the Shadow Shaman. Looks like he's going for the the Force Staff as well. Dragon Knight continuing to farm. Still doesn't have his armlet. He's got the gold. He's got the items. They're just not on the way yet. One Observer Ward down. Going to be keeping sight of Aegis. Night Stalker purchasing a Vanguard. So he's going to be very tanky now. Especially with that illusion. Lich popping a wand up on the mid lane, 700 HP. Enigma sitting very low HP as well. I really don't like the bottle pickup on Enigma. I really don't think this is worth it. There's so many better items that fit his role, like a Soul Ring compared to a bottle. It's just not the same on Enigma. Soul Ring is so much better. This tower looks like it may end up going down. There's the ulti from Night Stalker. Tidehunter gets hit, but he might ulti this. There's a Chain Frost. Big Tide ulti gonna hit a lot of people. Fishbone gets picked off. Weaver now chasing on one of these support heroes. Will he be able to pick him off? Looking for a shackle shot. Not going to get it. Enigma might get bursted down by the Night Stalker. I'm sorry, by the Dragon Knight. It does work out. And Night Stalker goes down. Weaver trying to pick off some more heroes. Shadow Shaman's the one to go for. Windrunner goes down as well. And actually a very even team fight. I thought that was going to go much differently. I thought the raiding team was looking really good. Lich will TP out. Weaver's still looking to make something happen. He's going to go after the Shadow Shaman, surprisingly. Yeah, if he knew the Crystal Main was there, I think he would have started the Crystal Main a lot earlier. He's thinking about it. He does not want to get disabled within the ward range. It could mean his death. And here he comes. Slaughter is on his way. He's using the haste. No TP scroll for the Shadow Shaman. Are we going to see the amp damage? No amp damage yet. They don't know exactly where he's going to. Get the amp damage off, man. No, he's just going to chase him. And misses the stun. There's the shackle. He probably should have ran. There's the bash. That's going to score him the kill. As soon as he missed the stun and got the shackle, he probably should have ran. Dragon Knight now stunning on the Slaughter, though. So it was working out. Is Tide going to go down? It's going to be close. There's the invisibility. Fishbone quite low. He's got minus armor from the Slaughter, but I think Slar's going to drop as well. And nice stun from Slar. Suicide neutrals or juke? It is nighttime. He's going to know where he is. There's the haste. Is it going to be enough? It's going to be so close. There's the urn. I think Urn's going to kill him. I think. Haste plus Urn, man. He's taking a lot of damage. He doesn't have any more HP. He's going to survive, though. Very close. Down to 60 HP, 50 HP. What a weird chase. Let's look at the gold. Wow. Big jump from the Radiant, and then an absolute swing back down. 6k gold difference now. Well, 3k gold difference. But it's a big swing from where it was before. Shadow Shaman on the top lane. Arcane with that Force Staff. Very, very good basic items here. Enigma still needs more HP. Got bursted down too fast during that fear duration. I still don't like his bottle. This could be a bracer or something. A bracer gives you about 100 HP. That might be enough. Amp damage is going to help the Slaughter farm. He's going for a BKB as well, which I think is really good, especially against DK, Shadow Shaman, Tidehunter. It's great against all those heroes. Just ignoring those disables in a team fight works out really nice. Crystal Maiden actually going for an interesting item build, going for a mechanism. It's very uncommon for support heroes like Crystal Maiden. Usually they play Ward Bitch, but I think Tidehunter is doing all the warding right now, so Crystal Maiden is able, with her decent enough mana pool, to actually pick up a mechanism. And that's going to fill her armor hole as well. She definitely has a little bit of armor lacking. I think this is really smart. They definitely do need a mech this game. Giving everybody in your team 2 extra armor when that gets activated is going to make a big difference. Yeah, 2 armor when you use the heal. They have a Slardar. They have a Weaver. Getting extra armor is going to help out. But they're going to go for a quick Roshan here. There's the armlet on the Dragon Knight. He also has an Ogre Club, so it looks like he's going for a Black King Bar. But he actually also has a Helm of the Dominator. This guy's farming like crazy, man. Is he going to pick up the Aegis? That's a real question. No, Night Stalker goes for the Aegis. Dragon Knight isn't really that worried about dying. He is so farmed. He also has a Hand of Midas off cooldown. Needs to find a creep. And he's going to go on the Slardar. Or Slardar going on the Crystal Maiden. And there's the Chain Frost. That's going to hit so hard. Holy crap. The damage done right now. So big. There's a Breath of Fire. Looking for the stun on the Dragon Knight. He's taking damage. No stun yet. Armlet is lowering his HP by quite a bit. He might have to toggle. The Tide ulti is going to do some good work. Slardar might get the Night Stalker. There's the big black hole. That's going to keep Night Stalker down. Big Breath of Fire, though, and the nukes. Going to clean up the 2 heroes, and he's going to revive. Anyways, because of that Aegis, there's a disable on Nada Hacks and a couple nukes as well. He's going to try to TP out, but the damage is too much. Alright, Dragon Knight gets picked off by the Weaver. I don't know if his Flame Breath missed or something, but Urn is going to get that kill. Weaver actually going for a Crystallis. Very interesting item build. He's going for damage this game, not going for Radiance. I think that's pretty sweet. Changing it up a little bit. I think it worked out against the Dragon Knight. Ended up picking off the Dragon Knight, surprisingly. I didn't think he was going to die. The Armlet ended up hurting him a lot. He didn't get a lot of lifesteal from the Helm of the Dominator either. And now Infused is going to be pushing the bot lane just a little bit here. Couple Drines going on. Crystal Maiden still trying to farm towards that mechanism, getting very close. 400 gold away. That could have made the difference. You never know. But I think Crystal Maiden died a lot slower than Slardar expected her to. It's not normal that, once again, you have Bracer and 5 armor from a Buckler. That gives you about 30% more estimated hit points against heroes like Slardar, who are all about bursting you down physically. I have 1 TP on the top lane. Who will it be? It's going to be Dragon Knight. Continuing his farm. Using that Hand of Midas whenever he gets the chance. And there he goes. He does use it. 1,600 gold on him. He just needs another 13, and he's going to hit the Black King Bar. A little bit of disable going on the Shadow Shaman on the mid. They're all going to disengage from that one. Night Stalker almost coming, but deciding against it. He's going to have an Aghanim Scepter pretty soon here. Well, moderately soon. He still needs a lot of gold. 2,500 gold, 2,400 gold. Wagamama getting lots of last hits. 2,100 on the Dragon Knight. And he is actually level 16. Did he mess up his skill build? He might have messed up his skill build. He actually does not have his blue Elder Dragon form right now, which is a big deal. Let's look at his stats. Look, yeah, he messed it up, dude. He's got 2 stat levels. He screwed it up. He does not have his level 3 ulti at level 16. This is a big mistake. The difference between level 2 ulti and level 3 ulti is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. So he's going to have to pick up another level here before their team is ready to fight. And I guess it kind of benefits anyways because he wants to farm up that that BKB that he's moderately close to, but whatever. Shadow Shaman getting closer to that Black King Bar herself. There's the mech finished on the Crystal Maiden. She also has smoke now. And Night Stalker farm in the top lane. Let's just look at the gold per minute in a second. 5k advantage, a little bit, almost 6k. Or I think that's almost 7.5k. Gold per minute right now, 500 on the Dragon Knight. He's farming like crazy here. 321 on Shadow Shaman. He's doing very good. Everybody else, a little mediocre. Night Stalker as well, but raiding team is actually falling behind, I think. Well, I mean, they are definitely, because we can look at the graph and tell that, but their farm itself is just not as adequate as it could be. Slardar doesn't quite have his BKB, buys the recipe. I don't know if he has a hammer, though. I assume he does not. I'm kind of curious he spent his money. Enigma sitting on a Blink Dagger. Still very low HP, though. And there's BKB for the Dragon Knight. He's continuing to farm. He does have that Hand of Midas. If he uses that on that creep, it's going to give him a lot of experience. It does give you more experience, I believe, based on neutral creeps.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Double damage for the Slardar. No wards up for the Dire team. The top lane is pushing just a little bit. Here comes the BKB for the Dragon Knight. Going to boost up his damage and give him some survivability. And there it is. Killing that mid lane, man. Killing us slowly. Infused is looking pretty good. Dragon Knight did use his Hand of Midas there. Isn't quite level 17. Needs to hit 17 before they can team fight appropriately. They could have pushed like a minute and a half ago if Dragon Knight actually didn't mess up, which is kind of funny. There's the haste. And a smoke actually popped on the entire Dire team. They're going to be swinging in here. If they can keep this tower alive for just a little bit longer, are they going to yeah, they are going to glyph it. They're going to be a little late, though. The tower's going to fall as they get there. But they will be able to pick off any stragglers as they back up. So here comes the team fight. Night Stalker's getting ready. He sees him. Are we going to see the fear? There's the fear going on the Weaver. If they can pick off a Weaver immediately, it's going to make a big deal. Get the stun off. Nothing yet. Black Hole going to catch 3 heroes, 4 heroes, catching all these heroes. Dragon Knight, level 2 ulti, not a level 3. He's doing as much damage as possible. He will pick off the Weaver though with his Dragon Tail, and now going to clean up the rest of these heroes. No matter, it doesn't matter, man. He is so farmed. He's hitting for big numbers. Lich goes down, Windrunner goes down. Only hero that's alive is Enigma, and he's going to drop as well. 5 hero swing. Night Stalker drops, but who cares, man? They are so farmed. Big plays there. Black Hole was actually extremely adequate for the Radiant team. Dragon Knight still just now picking up his level 3 ulti, but he's not utilizing that right now, of course. That Black King bar on the Dragon Knight makes the difference. He just has so much damage right now.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Gonna try to take a Rax at the moment. Bot tower will be absolutely fine.
Radiant structures are fortified.
There's the mech pop up, gonna heal everybody up a little bit. And Dragon Knight actually not using his armlet right now. I'm not too concerned apparently about taking the tower out.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Here comes the defense. It's going to be a 5v5 team fight. Night Stalker's actually not here though. There's a couple nukes on Dragon Knight. He's in a little bit of trouble. He's got 3 seconds until his Black King bar. And here he goes. He does actually pop it, but it does not want to fight. I think this is a little bit of a mistake. Shouldn't even stun, man. Keep running. He still has bugs on him. Windrunner wants this kill. Is he going to be able to get the kill? There's the Malefice, and that's it. Dragon Knight goes down. Should have just ran. After he popped the BKB, he should have just escaped. And a big mistake by the Dire team, losing 4 heroes. They got the tower, they could have backed off, losing 4 heroes. Big loss there. That was a misplay by Infused big time. That's the kind of errors that you cannot make as a good team. You cannot expect to win games if you lose 4 free heroes like that. All they had to do was back off. They were a little too greedy, tried to get a Rax, and they paid for it really heavily. Really heavily. Alright, Enigma now 1300 gold. Let's look at the gold difference. They did, look at this, a little bit of a spike back, but a huge graph. A very nice farming line for the Dire team. Night Stalker picking up his Blade of Alacrity. He needs 1k more gold, and he's got his Aghanim Scepter. There's the Medallion. He's actually going very interesting Weaver build. It's not a build you see very often, but basically crit plus minus armor. Which means he's going to lower their armor, he's going to hit them really hard, and then he's going to try to stay alive. The only downside to this build is you kind of have to keep getting more damage items. You can't just rely on the Radiance to do almost all of your damage. Since Radiance obviously does AoE plus the fact that it gives you plus 60, which is very well reflected by Geminate. Even an Ogre Club on the Crystal Maiden. Very interesting that he's farming more than the Tidehunter. Tidehunter with a Blink Dagger would be nice, but I think this is a decent enough decision. Level 12 Tidehunter now. Decent Kraken Shell, decent Anchor Smash. Looks like Weaver's actually going to go for a Black King bar here. Kind of interesting. I think it's not a bad idea, though. Dragon Knight stun is really good against Weaver. I think Dragon Knight's probably one of the best carries against Weaver. Just because Weaver's hard to kill. Dragon Knight's actually good against a lot of the really popular carries right now. Dragon Knight against Anti-Mage, Dragon Knight against Weaver. Just having a really long duration stun impacts a lot. Now he's up to 2600. I expect him to get a Satanic next immediately. And if we look at his gold per minute, 518, he's farming like crazy, man. Such good farm. And there is going to be 1 D-Ward, fresh ward, picked up by the Enigma, if he can get the last hit. And there's the blink back. So scary D-Warding those. People will oftentimes just like bum rush you, trying to stop the D-Ward. BKB finished on Shadow Shaman. His armor's still pretty low, but not a big deal. There's a smoke on 4 heroes. Gonna take the top. Will they grab it? They should leave it, yeah, indeed. And if they would have grabbed that, that would have been vision. It would have said, oh my god, there's 2 heroes on the top. Night Stalker, hoping to get ganked. It's getting closer to nighttime. Still has his ulti ready, though. Will he get ganked? Radiant team very defensive. Possibly going to drop a sentry ward on the high ground here. Keeping that armor on everybody, especially those melee tank heroes. Weaver purchases the BKB. And we're going to have a team fight in a second here. He needs that BKB to stop the silence as well. It's not just Ignite, it's mainly the silence from the Night Stalker. It's going to allow him to auto-attack. He gets bonus damage from it as well. And there we go. Dire Team's actually going to back up. They don't want to fight uphill like that. Dragon Knight going mid. So much last hitting. 3,500 gold on him. He's getting very close to Satanic. He still needs 800 gold, but then he will have his Satanic. And his HP is going to go up by 200, 300. Nice fake push here. Coming out Infused, and now they're going to take the Roshan. Or will they? They dropped some sentries down. They still haven't gotten the one on the high ground, though. And Dragon Knight will clean up these neutrals. He might be thinking about selling his Hand of Midas pretty soon, since he's running out of item slots. Of smoke from the Radiant team. Going to try to catch them. I like their positioning here. Ran all the way through the jungle. Not going to come up through the river. And there's the vision. Getting too close to the tower, so they're going to have to fight now. What? There's some weird dancing going on, man. I think tower ended up dropping the ward or the smoke vision of all of them. And they're all going to back up. Lich is the only one out of position now. They do not want a team fight right now. This would be a bad time. Let's look at a little vision based on the Dire team. They actually can't see anybody right now, but they do have the Aghanim's Night Stalker, which means they're going to see anybody coming.
Be knighted.
They're still all in position. Lich is on the way. And there we go. There's Windrunner going to shoot Power Shot. They know what's going on. Windrunner thinking about it. Night Stalker in position still. And here's some bugs. They're going in. Nice stun. Nice Black King Bar off the Dragon Knight. The Black Hole is going to catch 4 heroes once again. Weaver's going to try to pick off the weak ones. Are they going to be able to pick off the Crystal Maiden? The Chain Frost is doing a lot of damage. Big slam down. So many BKBs going on right now, especially with the Weaver here. Wow, they pick off the Rasta as well. Are they going to be able to get the Dragon Knight? It's going to be close. I think they will get him, and indeed they do. Dragon Knight goes down. Night Stalker goes down. And Radiant team, it's going to pull out a team fight win. An unexpected team fight win. They lose the Enigma. They pick off 5 heroes. That was really, really huge. And they get a tower destroyed by the Radiant. Bot tower gets dropped. They're going to pick off the Roshan now. There's the minus armor on him. Such a big play there. I love their item build so far, especially the Weaver. Crit stick with a Black King Bar. Very, very unusual. Observer Ward gets dropped, and they win a big fight. Enigma Black Hole was huge there, disabling 4 of those heroes, especially with Black Hole or Black King Bars on. It's the best time to disable them. They won't be able to contribute when they normally would. And Windrunner as well. Mechanism finished. A little late, but not a huge impact. And Weaver now might be going for his Daedalus. Can pick up his if he's worried about not buying, if he's not worried about buying back, at least he can go pick up his Demon Edge. It's going to get him a lot closer. And Slardar at 2,100 gold with his Black Hole, or his Black King Bar. I think we saw a Force Staff on the Slardar to initiate there. I think that's what we saw. He's going to get an AC next, which is really smart. That's going to help them take down the Dragon Knight and the Night Stalker easier. Lowering their armor helps a lot. That was a good BKB reaction time by the Dragon Knight to go into the fight, but they still ended up pulling out the win. Big team fight for the Radiant team SGC here. Alright. Weaver might be in a little bit of trouble here. Night Stalker's going to spot him. You do not get away from Night Stalker. Unless you go invisible. Dire team backing up, getting ready to push. No new items on Dragon Knight. He actually has not purchased. No Satanic, no AC. Will he go back to farming? That's the real question. I think he might. They might just want to farm more. Vlad's finished on the Windrunner. He turns his Basilius into Vlad's. He's going to give... Actually, that's a pretty darn good item. Going to give Slardar even more armor and lifesteal. Mostly the lifesteal is going to be really good. Enigma should probably sell his Basilius, though. I think it only gives him 1 armor. That's all it's doing for him. And 6 damage. 1 armor, 6 damage. Weaver farming like crazy, going back to the bot lane. There's a lot of creeps there to pick up. And still more farming. Farm. And is that going to be Satanic? I assume so. Yep, Satanic on the way for the Dragon Knight. It's going to keep him alive. He's going to save that until he hits about half HP or something. And then he's going to pop that thing and heal like crazy. It gives you like 250% regen, something silly. You can literally like heal in 4 hits if you're doing pretty good damage. 175, I thought it was higher than that, but even still, 175% lifesteal when you're normally lifestealing on average about 15% with an average lifesteal item like Vlad's. Satanic is beastly, man. Especially on heroes like Dragon Knight who are obscenely tanky. Having a Satanic on that, healing back up after you've tanked a crap load of damage, is really, really effective. And will they be able to pick off a hero? Night Stalker is going to have that vision up with his Aghanim Scepter, so here comes the team fight. They're going to be initiating. Oh man, the counter smoke. Here comes the team fight though. Slardar does pop his BK. No, he doesn't. He's about to die. Slardar does have the Aegis though. Will he pop his BKB? I think he should just save it though. He will get picked off immediately. There's the Malefice going on the Dragon Knight, but he already popped his BKB. There he is. BKB is popped. He's going back in. He's going to stun on the Dragon Knight. Amp damage on Shadow Shaman, but he's a little worried, especially the slow from the Dragon Knight is such a pain in the butt. There's the Black Hole, going to catch 2 heroes. Slardar not quite landing. Hits, but he's going to get a chain stun, and there it is. Dragon Knight's going to fall down. Dragon Knight runs out. He's dead. Tide being followed up on as well. He does get picked off. Crystal Maiden might fall up afterwards, but actually Kranich might go down here to these wards. It's going to, yes, he does go down. Gem of True Sight on the ground as well. Are they going to chase after these support heroes? Perfect time to shackle. And Crystal Maiden doing epic jukes here, but Lich is going to find him, and that's going to be it. Crystal Maiden goes down. Gem of True Sight is still on the ground, and the Radiant team is pulling out the team fight wins. I cannot believe it. The game is swinging back towards their favor. Only a 4K advantage currently. Gem is still on the ground. Nobody noticed it. I don't even know whose Gem that was. Probably the Dire teams. But their team fight is just not good enough, apparently. Dragon Knight just... the BKB duration is too low at this point. The Black Hole makes a big impact. And surprisingly, Weaver and Slardar are being adequate. I think if the Radiant team didn't have Slardar respawn, that would have been the team fight. Slardar definitely got picked off. He lost like 70% of his HP before he even became unsheeped. So I think it was really smart of him to save the BKB. That was a really good play by him. But are we going to see a tower fall here? No, I don't think so. They're going to be ready to defend this one. Arcane Drums on the Tidehunter with a wand. Very good item build. And Weaver wants to pick off this tower. He's going to cast a couple bugs just to make sure nobody's coming to gank him. And will he be able to get the tower? He's so close. He's going to have his Daedalus in a second. He wants it, but unfortunately he's not going to get it. Night Stalker chasing. He does have vision. Will he be able to get him? No, there's the invisibility. Definitely enough for a Daedalus. And Night Stalker back in the jungle. Night Stalker at this point might just want to go some kind of disable, maybe like even something like a Basher wouldn't be that bad. Basher or damage item, those are pretty much his options. And this is the part in the game where Night Stalker doesn't become that effective. Most of his damage peaks off from Void in the early to mid game, and since he does get an Aghanim Scepter and a Vanguard, that's a lot of money spent on basically just tanky items. And he's going to be used as utility for slow and silence, which is really good. But he needs some kind of damage utility at this point, because we're getting into the late game. He needs to be able to complement Dragon Knight, who is really not at that big of a gold advantage like he used to be. If we look at his total gold, he's at 20k. He's like way ahead of everybody else. Everybody else except for Weaver. He's only about 4k ahead of Weaver. But are we going to catch Slar? No, Slar will not get picked off. And here comes another team fight. Tidehunter not level 16, so he only has a level 2 ulti, but still can do a lot. This tower will fall easily. And SGC playing it smart, gonna let the outer towers fall. There's not much they can do about defending that. It's about these racks, man. These are all that's important. Big power shot, gonna lower Rasta's HP just a little bit here before the team fight. Everybody's playing so defensive, really far back, as if they're fighting a Vengeful Spirit. Crystal Maiden drops. Back to more neutraling. They may just continue farming. Night Stalker going to keep popping his ulti whenever possible. He's going to pick up that illusion. Ah, Night Stalker Illusion's so good, dude. Every single one of them gets the Aghanims. Oh, big black bar bait out from the Night Stalker. They've got to feel bad about that one. Another Night Stalker Illusion. They now realize their error. BKB cooldown wasted on Slardar. Assuming the teamfight was about to start. That is rough, man. They're going to have to back up and play really defensive for 50 seconds here. It's a nice little victory for the Dire team. And Night Stalker swinging back mid. Still getting Beast Vision with him. About 20 seconds left on that. Very tanky illusions, by the way. It's basically providing the role of a ward right now. A beast ward. Look at this vision. It is so good. Such an imbo illusion. Alright, Dire team now looking to push the top lane. Looks like they are all ready to go at least. Hyperstone now on the Dragon Knight is going to get an AC. This is a really good decision. Casey was not tanky enough. Black King Guar Satanic is going to take much less damage from the Weaver. And wow, Weaver actually going for a Mantis style. Not going to finish the Daedalus. Opting for more tank and speed and attack speed. A little bit of nuke. Finally, they discover the real Night Stalker. Are we going to see some amp damage casts? Might as well, man. Free amp damage. It's another Night Stalker ulti. Still nighttime. He's going in. They apparently want to go in. They're going to stun. Going straight on the Dragon Knight. I don't completely agree with this, but there's all the Black King bars. Every Black King bar is going stun. One is doing as much damage as possible. Will Tide be Yellow Ball ulti? He does get a big ulti off. Lich is going to go down. He does already Chain Frost. Dire team looking really good, but the Black Hole coming from the Radiant team might just swing the battle in their favor. The big nukes takes out the Shadow Shaman. Shadow Shaman goes down. Kranich is trying to take out the DK, but man, the squishy support heroes. Tide gets dropped. Night Stalker trying to do damage, but not accomplishing a whole lot. And Dragon Knight is still alive. He has not died yet. Not a hex. Getting down to half HP. 2 heroes to 2 heroes dead. Wagamama turning off his armlet. Everybody is so low here. They almost have to back up. They will lose the melee racks. There's a disable on the Night Stalker. Are they going to be able to get Night Stalker? I think they might be able to. Weaver needs a couple good hits, and there we go. Nice pick off. Windrunner power shot. Cleans up. Dragon Knight being pursued as well. If they can get the Dragon Knight here, this is going to be really big. No stun there. Not effective. But Windrunner is going to be fine. Absolutely going to survive. And with Dragon in regular mode, are they going to get the Courier? No, not going to get the Courier. Does Dragon Knight get an item? Guess not. They're looking for that Courier. He wants to find it. But they will not. Even still, they got the melee racks. It's the most important one. The range racks almost fell as well. Very, very close game. Ugh, stretch. Windrunner probably going to go for a Sheepsick next. I still didn't really like the initiation there. I thought Slardar was a little early. And stunning on the Dragon Knight, the tankiest person on the enemy team. I feel like there would have been better targets. They still made out and a slight advantage there. I think they got more kills. I don't know how many buybacks we had. They did lose the melee racks though, that's the problem. And Lich was able to Chain Frost, which is mostly what Lich would be able to do anyways. And therefore Frost Armors run out and stuff like that. Frost Armor actually very good against Night Stalker primarily. And even Dragon Knight helps out. So there's a regen on the Weaver. Looks like they will be going for a Roshan, but the Dire team going to be showing up. There's the Manta going to be using those to tank. A little bit of a misclick on one of them, but they are going to have to back up now. There's a couple heroes in position. Weaver's going for it. Looks like Slardar wants it as well. Blink back from the Shadow Shaman. He will survive, no problem. And they may just take Roshan. I'm not really sure, though. It's a little scary. Both teams are aware. Slardar getting very close to that AC. Still about 1,300 away. But top lane is pushing. They can only push mid for so long, and they might have to back up and continue farming here. Weaver at 2,400 gold. Dire wards will show their retreat. Wagamama still has not forsaken his gloves of haste, or his hand of Midas, sorry. And there's the smoke up by the Dire team. They're going to be looking to pick off a kill. Who are they going to find first? They're going after the Enigma, I think. If they can stop that black hole, that mid-game portion of the team fight will be just absolutely different. He doesn't have a blink. 2 seconds. There's the slow. But they're going to not